Hi, gay. So recently I felt like kind of out of it in terms of content creation. I felt a little burnt out, you could say. But oh boy, when I saw this online, I was so ready to talk about it. I might even release this video early, I'm not sure, but I'm really excited to get into it. So for this week, I was going to talk about something queer and art related, but I had to drop everything when I found out that one of our favorite misogynists has decided to come out into her transphobia era. I, of course, am talking about JustPearlyThings, a female red-pilled influencer who makes her career off of shaming other women while simultaneously being a walking contradiction. If you don't know who JustPearlyThings is, rest assured I am going to be talking about her a little bit further, and I'm going to get into some of her beliefs and why they just don't really make sense. According to her channel, Pearl began posting on YouTube in around 2021, and she rose to prominence largely with the rise and fall of Andrew Tate, another red-pilled influencer who I'm sure you are well aware of. Pearl herself is actually a female manosphere influencer, which is kind of odd, considering that the whole thing with the manosphere is the fact that it's a manosphere and it's centered around men and manly things. So it's very interesting for this woman to just inject herself into that. That's another part where the misogyny comes in, where she's like, yeah, I belong in the kitchen. I'm just a dumb woman, but I'm also going to put myself out on this platform and talk about these issues. It just doesn't really make sense. Leave that to the men, you know? Because that's what you believe. But it's by no means a new thing. You also have people like the transformed wife. Arguably, you could say that Candace Owens and Brett Cooper also kind of fit into this category of, conservative women who advocate for men's rights and also against their own rights at the same time. So let's get into some of Pearl's beliefs, right? So for one thing, she believes that women shouldn't be able to vote.
You don't think women should get the right to vote?
No, I don't.
She also believes that divorce should be illegal.
I think we should ban divorce too. Yeah, I think that should be banned.
She believes that women belong in the kitchen, and she believes that slavery wasn't that bad.
Slavery stuff too, because what they do is they embellish, and I'm not trying to say it wasn't horrible, it was,
right,
but they want to make it more horrible.
She also believes that women have expiration dates in terms of marriageability.
Girls want to sleep around in their 20s and then at 30 run to a man, and but you've lost the things that men value by the time you're 30. You're no longer pure, you're no longer youthful.
She also believes that women are generally treated better than men.
So I worked a sales job, and I feel like I got special treatment because I was a woman. And most of the guys would agree. People are more willing to help you when you're a young woman.
I've heard this from almost every single woman working in entertainment and working in any industry peripheral to this, that if you're a moderately attractive woman working, you're working, you might be succeeding, but you never know if you're actually succeeding based on the merits of your work or if it's because somebody wants to f you. And when somebody tries to f you, if you shut them down, you're f***ed. Because whoever's above you hates you now, and they're never going to promote you or work with you anymore, and then you slowly basically get ghosted out of whatever job you're working.
You know that someone is crazy when Destiny is the most sane person in the room. And then finally, of course, she believes that trans women are men. What's funny about many of these beliefs is the fact that they either completely go against her own existence or her existence directly contradicts what she believes, and I'll get into that. For one thing, with voting, she is a woman who believes that women shouldn't be able to vote. Next, she believes that divorce should be illegal when she isn't even married in the first place. Not only that, but as far as I know, I could be wrong on this, but as far as I know, her parents are still married. So she has no idea the positive effects of divorce on children, because there are positive effects. There are people whose parents stick together for the sake of the children, and it ends up harming the children more so than if they would have gotten divorced in the first place.
On top of that, I just want to say that I am sick of people pretending that, breaking up or going through a divorce is, the most awful, horrible thing that can happen in your life. Sometimes it's a very good thing, and it should happen. And sometimes it would be better for the family as a whole to go through this process rather than sticking together in a possibly abusive situation.
She believes that women should belong in the kitchen. Meanwhile, she is a career girl with over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. She also believes that slavery wasn't that bad, which is just a shitty take to have. Also, if you notice in that video, she is sitting next to known white supremacist Nick Fuentes, so that's super cool. When it comes to believing that women have expiration dates, she is past that expiration date. In fact, she's open about it. So again, just advocating against your own self-interest. If you didn't believe in that expiration date, you would still be marriageable, you know?
So I know that in the TikTok I showed, she was specifically talking about women who like choose to sleep around in their 20s, and then when they get to their 30s, you know, they regret it. But there's a specific TikTok, and I couldn't find it, but there is one where she specifically says that once you get past like the age of 23, you basically are unmarriageable, and she says that she herself is past that expiration date because she is 26. And it's just so ridiculous. Like, why would you do that? You're just advocating against yourself at this point. Like, how much do you hate yourself, man?
And then when it comes to trans women aren't women, she barely passes as it is. There's also something interesting about Pearl's content, and that is that she posts this stuff constantly, right? Like, she is constantly talking about how much she hates herself and other women. But she really does not get a lot of attention from other people in the manosphere. Like, she does have over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, but most of her videos only get like a couple thousand views. So it really just seems overall like her content is just not worth it, but she continues to make it. Which, I mean, I guess, speak your truth if you really feel like it's that necessary, but like, you're just hurting yourself, man. Another weird fact I learned about Pearl while researching this video is that she used to date the, like, angry reactions guy. Like, that guy who has, like, 28 million subscribers on TikTok. That's fucking crazy. He did apparently leave her, though, which, good for him.
So I tried to go to his account today to find the TikTok that I was going to talk about, where he discusses, like, breaking up with Pearl. And it's just gone. like a couple hours ago it was there, and now it's just completely disappeared. I wonder what happened. That's so awful, because he seems like a really wholesome person. But then again, I don't personally know the guy, so who am I to say? But it's still very sad to see.
Recently, Pearl did a debate with the H3 podcast, and it was bad. It was really bad. She got her flat ass handed to her on a silver platter. I obviously can't show like extended parts of the podcast in this video, but it will be linked in the description. It's fucking insane. Like, it's whoa. She just cannot answer Ethan's questions. It almost seems like she's on drugs or something. Like, she just... Let me show you. So, do you think women should have rights? Yeah, I, don't think that women should have rights. Can you, tell me why? Well, it's just like... I just feel like, you know, like... Well... Can you answer the question? Can you stop interrupting me? That's it. You don't even really need to watch the video now, because that's what the entire thing is like. That's also the first bit I've ever done on this channel, so, you know, you're welcome. Okay, now that we have finally gone over, like, how shitty this person is, and I, like, let you know what she's all about, let's get into the transphobia. I want to clarify that Pearl's transphobia is by no means new. It's just that there's been, like, a recent development in her transphobia that makes me want to talk about it. So Pearl lives in London and plays volleyball, meaning that she is associated with Volleyball England, the league that oversees all official volleyball games in the fucking... I don't know how sports work, but she's associated with that league. So just a few days ago, Pearl released this tweet stating that some of her teammates had to play against trans people. By releasing this transphobic tweet, she was in violation of the Volleyball England Code of Conduct, which specifically states that trans people, or trans athletes specifically, are welcome in the sport. And because she violated this code of conduct, she is now under investigation by Volleyball England. So... what did she do after this? How did she, come back? Did she apologize? Did she maybe delete the tweet? Like, what's going on? What did she say specifically? Nothing. She actually doubled down, which is so great and super cool of her. So let's look at some of those tweets. I'm going to give you a quick warning first, because obviously transphobia, but also for the fact that some of these tweets are as bland as her personality. The first tweet reads, "It's actually so sad to go to a volleyball tournament and see biological men competing with women and everyone acting like this is normal." Maybe that's because it is completely normal and you're just delusional. I don't know. But if everyone in the room is acting like something's normal, and you're the one freaking out about it, maybe it's a you problem. The next tweet reads, "I saw a dude in our locker room today. Absolutely appalling. Now this one is actually a little interesting, because in this situation, you are in a room where people are getting undressed, and you are shocked to see another person's body. Now don't get me wrong, I could understand how expecting to see one type of anatomy and then seeing another could be a little bit jarring, but you know what's a great thing that you can do in that situation? Is just look away. Just like look somewhere else. Don't bother yourself with it. Like just mind your own. And even then, we don't even know if this person was like actually like fully naked getting undressed. This could have just been a person who like looks a little masculine and she just assumed that they were a trans woman. And even then, she could have just made up this whole thing for tweets and engagement, which I mean, I don't want to think that she did, but I wouldn't put it past her. The next tweet reads, "No, I don't want men in our locker rooms, even if they look like women. It doesn't matter, they aren't women." This, personally, for me, just raises another question, and that is, what is a woman? But seriously, what is a woman supposed to look like? Because I could name several trans women who could walk into a woman's changing room, and Pearl would probably be none the wiser. And even then, there are cis women who don't necessarily fit that binary of what a feminine woman lady person is supposed to look like, you know? It's almost like appearances don't matter and gender is a made-up thing, but who fucking knows? Next, she tweeted out, "My volleyball organization said that my tweets are transphobic, and when I asked for a definition, they said, if you are able to see the tweet from a perspective of a transgender person, would you feel like the organization was welcoming? I have now identified as a man and will weigh in on this." That being said, I will refer to Pearl with he, him pronouns for the rest of the video because unlike Pearl, I am respectful of other people's identities. After this, all he really did was post an attack helicopter joke and double down some more. He also went on to tell Volleyball England that he identifies as a trans man via this email, so that's cool. After this, he went back to posting pretty much business as usual tweets, or at least as of this time of filming he has. So there's not really much I can say there other than he's obviously grifting. You shouldn't listen to the things that he says. He just wants engagement and attention, which is, I guess, what I'm giving him in this video. But I don't care, because I'm probably going to get views. Get fucked. If you like this video, I hope that you like this video. I also make content about art, media, and Satanism, so be sure to check those out. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Be safe, and happy Pride Month.